Hello and welcome to Crypto Novus. My name is Chris Brown and I'm the host of the channel for those of you who are new. And today has been an exciting day for the altcoins in the crypto market space, in particular with Ethereum, since it's almost reached its all-time high back in 2018. So I thought it would be appropriate to put together a 2020 price analysis for Ethereum. But before I get into that, I would like to give a shout out to Bitcoin IRA. For those of you who have self-directed IRA right now, would like to open one, or are looking for a different way to invest in the crypto market, I would highly suggest Bitcoin IRA, and they can be found at bitcoinira.com. As always, this video is not and should not be perceived as crypto investment advice. It is for educational purposes. As always, do your own research before making any investments into crypto, because you need to understand the risks. You need to be able to create a strategy so that you can reap the largest rewards possible for you and your family as an investor. Okay, let's hit Ethereum basics. Okay, since 2017, there have been 6 significant things, I think, that have happened in the Ethereum network that will have an impact on the success of the projects associated with Ethereum, as well as Ethereum's price in 2021. So the first, Ethereum adoption has continued to increase. Ethereum has almost 3 times more daily transactions than Bitcoin, and they sit at 1.2 million per day. The number of daily Ethereum address wallets have increased 35 times. In 2017, they were only 10,000 per day. Now there's 354,000. The Ethereum network effect has taken control, or has definitely shown its strength. There are so many crypto projects in the ecosystem running on Ethereum, as many of us know. Nexto and Tether are just 2. The Ethereum market cap has increased more than 169 times. In 2017, it was only 877 million. Today, it is 149 billion. The entire DeFi landscape is running on Ethereum with more than $23 billion locked up from 500 million just a year ago. And we'll take a closer look at that. And last but not least, the launch of Ethereum 2.0 finally occurred in December of 2020. So this is just a quick snapshot from Glassnode showing Ethereum's price today, its market cap, new addresses, and just kind of backing up some of the information I just gave you. Let's talk a little bit about the number of Ether. When the company was first founded in 2015, there were 72 million Ether mined at that time. In 2017, just a couple years later, there was 96 million. And at the time, there were 5 new Ether were created about every 14 to 15 seconds, or about 18 million per year. That has dropped a lot for a lot of good reasons. Presently in 2020, the circulation supply of Ether rose from 109 million ETH to 114 million. This is only an increase of 5 million, just under 5 million Ether in 1 year. The price rose from $136 to $754, and we'll look closer at what that is. So presently, the amount of Ether that's in the circulation is 114, with a little bit more than that now as of the 17th of January, and the price is sitting at $1,400, just a little over $1,400. Since the size of Ethereum blockchain is not stagnant, it continues to grow, this brings some concern in terms of supply and demand dynamics, puts into question what really could be the price value of Ethereum when it comes 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road. Let's look at the successes that Ethereum has had in 2020. The first, Ethereum 2.0, can be summarized in 2 words: scalability and security. The launch of Ethereum 2.0 occurred in December of 2020 and is expected to be completed by 2022. It's going to be released in 3 different phases. The first phase was the beacon chain release, allowing staking for holders to operate as a validator. To date, over 2.5 Ether have been staked at a value of about $3.6 billion. The next phase will be the introduction of shards, about 64 in total, which will radically increase the transaction throughput of the system, which implies basically speed. And the last step would be the mainnet Ethereum will dock with one of the beacon chain's shards. This will enable staking for the entire network and signal the end of energy-intensive mining. One of the other aspects was that there has been a change from proof of work to proof of stake. So originally when Ethereum was built, proof of work was a security model. And that's where miners dedicated processing power to solving problems, creating the blockchain, and processing transactions. Now with ETH 2.0, a new consensus mechanism called proof of stake is in place. This model allows miners to validate transactions by proving they own units of ETH. The correct blockchain is the one validated by more holders of ETH. Proof of stake uses less energy, therefore it's cheaper to process. But there's still some bugs to work out with this system. The DeFi space, as mentioned earlier, just a year ago, you can see here on the left of the screen that $901 million was tied up into the space. Now, just recently, 23.3 billion of dollars are tied up or locked up into the DeFi space. The decentralized finance space, as you know, connected with smart contracts, decentralized applications and protocols. All of this is built on Ethereum. And what it does is it leverages and transforms old financial products, trustless and transparent protocols that run without intermediary. There's a company called DeFi Prime. They have about 213 DeFi projects presently, and out of those 213, 201 of them are built on Ethereum. So let's talk about scarcity, because that directly impacts supply and demand dynamics. So Ethereum's monetary policy has changed. With the implementation of EIP 1590, it aims to introduce a base fee amount to Ethereum validator transactions. The base fee amount will be burnt to the network, decreasing the ETH supply. So this is really a big step because this really is the first deflationary mechanism in the Ethereum network since the company's inception in 2015. The other aspects that is impacting scarcity has to do with what's happening on exchanges. Glassnode reported that Ethereum's active supply, 6 to 12 month range, fell to a 19-month low of only 14.6 million ETH in active circulation. So what's happening is the exchanges are reporting that a lot of addresses are pulling their Ethereum off of the exchanges, which is simply implying that investors are beginning to hold Ethereum as opposed to trading, which impacts the amount of available supply. And of course, as the supply dwindles, demand goes up and the price goes up. Now, when Bitcoin experienced the same type of thing, it quadrupled in price in only 90 days. And there's a lot of expectations that Ethereum could do exactly the same thing. So let's jump into the meat of this video, and that is price prediction. First, I want to take a look at market dominance. Ethereum right now is sitting at 14%, around 14% of market dominance, where Bitcoin is sitting at 66%. This is just a quick slide that kind of shows some predictions of where Ethereum might be for the year of 2021. The price of 2020, it started at 136 and went to 754, which means that was a 5.x growth. The expectation for this year is that the range that Ethereum could experience is 2,000 to 15,000. If it reaches as high as 15, that's a 19.8 growth in 1 year. Now, Andrew Keys thought Ethereum would reach 2,000. It's going to easily do that. James Tadario thought that it could reach 9,000. I'm sure it's going to hit that and go beyond. And Kraken Crypto Exchange, in its 2020 sentiment survey, the high was 15,000. I think that's much more closer to prediction, although I can see it going much, much higher. So let's take a look at what happened at January 13th in 2018. The circulation of Ethereum at that time was 96 million. The market cap was $140.4 billion, where the total crypto market cap was $720.4 billion. Ethereum's market dominance at that time was 17.27%. The all-time price it had reached, this is probably what it peaked at that day, was $14.48. In terms of its price relative to Bitcoin, it was at 9.5%. So let's take a look at where we're at today, just a little over 3 years later. The circulation supply is sitting at just a little over 114.3 million. The market cap is at 161.6, where the total crypto market cap is over $1 trillion. Present market dominance is 14%, so it doesn't have much further to go to reach the 17%. Its present price is 1408. It's very close to the 1448. In fact, I think it hit today around 1420. And relative to Bitcoin, though, it's only at 3.8%, and it was at 9.3. So it can grow there about 2.5x. Again, just a repeat of what happened in 2020, it achieved a 5.5x growth. This year so far, on the first of the month, January 1, it started at 754. The year high so far was 1411. That's 1.87 growth. It's almost doubled in just 3 weeks. So the question is, how much can it continue to grow? I did a previous video where I thought Ethereum would grow at least 11.2x. I think that is very, very possible. And I'm going to show you where I think it can even go beyond that, depending on what other dynamics happen within the space. Okay, here we go. 2 different scenarios. Now, again, these are, speculative numbers, but, it's based on a lot of, information about how the market is performing. And I think most of us would find these numbers to be actually very conservative. So scenario 1 sees Bitcoin at 146,000, which I think is a very, very conservative, very safe number. After looking at some information in regards to how Bitcoin price performance happens after halving, I could see that number being much higher. In scenario 2, I put Bitcoin at 276,000. So I think both of these numbers as baselines are good conservative numbers to use, and it gives us a nice range to look at. Bitcoin hits $146,000. Ethereum again repeats its pattern and reaches the 9.53% value of Bitcoin. That would put Ethereum at $13,913, or it would have an 18.3x growth. The circulation supply would probably increase a little bit. I just simply took the same 4.9 million growth that it had last year and just applied it, so it went up to 119 million. That would give us a market cap at $1.6 trillion, okay, at a price tag of $13,000, almost $14,000. If Bitcoin was 146, the total crypto market cap could be 3.3 trillion. If that was the case, Ethereum did the same thing and captured about 17% of that. It would put it at a market cap of over 500, almost $570 billion, which would put Ethereum at a price of just under 5,000, more specifically 4,788. So that would be a 6.3x growth. Scenario 2, what I've done is Bitcoin goes up to that level. And a lot of people think Bitcoin will go beyond $200,000 now. I'm going to guess that Ethereum's going to capture a little bit more of its value onto Bitcoin. So I've just increased it a little bit to where Ethereum would be 10% of Bitcoin's price, which would put it at 27,600. And that would be a 36.6x growth, or 3,660%. Circulation supply is the same. It gives Ethereum with a market cap of $3.2 trillion. Jumping down to just look at the market cap prediction and its market dominance. If Bitcoin reached that level of 276,000, its market cap could be at 5.8 trillion. The total crypto market cap could be at 7.7 trillion, with Ethereum having a market dominance of 17.777%. I increased that again by 0.5 to be consistent. That would give me a market cap of 1.3 trillion, or an Ethereum price of 11,496, or 15x. So we've got a nice range here of 6.3x all the way up to 36x over this next year that Ethereum could, in fact, do, depending on what happens with Bitcoin and the total cryptocurrency market. What does that mean to me as an investor? So as an investor, I'm going to look at the range. Ethereum could be from $4,700 all the way up to $27,000. I simply took the average to be conservative, which is a little over 16,000. And if I take from the first day of the year, which was the price of 754, that means that Ethereum could increase by 21.4x this year. If I want to be conservative, even a little bit more, and just look at where the price is today at 1408, maybe it does an 11.5x, but I'll stay consistent and look at the 21.4. So as an investment target, if you had $1,400, where does 1,400 come from? There's a lot of conversation of a new stimulus check. So if you took 1,400, apply the 21.4 potential growth that Ethereum has, if it reaches 16,000, your 1,400 could turn into 29,000, almost $30,000 in this year alone. Pretty impressive, I would say. So again, there's my price prediction. This is Crypto Novus, where newbies become masters. I hope that this information was valuable to you and you got a little bit something out of it, at least one nugget that you can take and apply it to your investment strategy. If it was, please subscribe to the community. Would love to have you be a part of it and ask me questions. And if you'd like for me to do this on a particular coin, which one person has and I will do shortly, I will do it for you as well. And of course, always press the like button. Again, my name is Chris Brown. This is Crypto Novus, where newbies become masters. See you in the next video.